Aloha. Today we are going to talk about the associative property. Now, the associative property works for addition and multiplication. It does not work for subtraction nor division, because addition and multiplication join numbers and groups, while subtraction and division breaks apart numbers and groups. Take these 6 ducks. 3 jump into the pond. Then goes another one. And finally, the last 2 stragglers. We have 3 ducks plus 1 duck plus 2 ducks. Now, if this little guy swims over here, we have 3 ducks plus 1 ducks, and that's 4 ducks plus our 2 ducks, and that is equal to 6 ducks. But a strong wind comes along and blows this guy back to the rest of the gang. Now we added 1 duck to the 2 duck, which is 3 ducks, and we have these 3 ducks, and 3 plus 3 is equal to 6. So it doesn't matter how we group the addends, we get the same sum. The associative property of addition says you can change the groupings of the atoms and still get the same sum. Let's see if the associative property works for subtraction. In both of these expressions, 6 is the amount that we're starting with. In this expression, 4 ducks went back to the nest. And you are left with 2 ducks. 6 minus 4 is 2. And if we subtract another 2 ducks from that, what are we left with? Nothing. 0. Now let's look at this next expression. Although we still have a 6 as our total, our first operation is 4 minus 2 because those are the numbers in parentheses. And what this means is 4 ducks started going to the nest. That's our 4. We subtracted 4. But then we take 2 away from that first. They decided, hey, I am not ready to go back home. I'm coming back for a swim. And 4 minus 2 is 2. So in both expressions, we started out with 6 ducks, but this time only 2 went back to the nest. And these are the 2 that went back to the nest. 6 minus 2 is equal to 4, and we can see 4 ducks in the pond. The 2 ducks that never left, and the 2 ducks that came back. And we could see that their answers are not the same. Therefore, the associative property does not work for subtraction. Looking at the associative property of multiplication, we are going to start off with 2 ducks that you got for your homeschool project. And you did so well that your teacher gave you another group of 2 ducks, so now you have 2 groups of 2 ducks. Then you joined the club Future Farmers of America, and they not only doubled your ducks, they doubled your double, which is times 4. So since we started out with 2 ducks and then doubled that to 4 ducks, we would put the parentheses around 2 times 2 and do that operation first. Because we started out with 2 ducks and we doubled it to get 4 ducks. And after you joined the Future Farmers of America, you ended up with 4 groups of 4 ducks. And your total is 16 ducks. Part of your project includes building a shelter for the duck. So you build a shelter that houses 4 ducks. But that's only 4 out of 16 ducks, so you build another one. You've doubled it. Now you have 2 groups of 4 ducks. 2 times 4 is 8, and that's what we have right here. 2 groups of 4. Luckily, your cousin comes over and helps you build the last 2 duck houses. So we have doubled our houses, and we have doubled the amount of ducks that can live in those houses, and 2 times 8 is 16. We can see that these 2 answers are the same. So there is an associative property for multiplication. The associative property of multiplication says you can change the grouping of the factors and still get the same product. Let's see if the associative property works for division. One day your chicks all got out of their enclosures and started running toward the pond. Since there's an alligator living in the pond now, you have to gather all these ducks and get them home before they, meet the alligator. You find 4 wooden boxes, so you're able to take all 16 ducks and put them into 4 wooden boxes. So we have 16 ducks divided into 4 groups. And we can see that we have 4 ducks in each group. Even a box of 4 is too heavy, and you can only carry half of that. And 4 ducks, what is half of 4 ducks? Is 2 ducks. Well, the crocodile sees the ducks and is walking up to meet them, and you have to get them out of there fast. Luckily, your uncle has a truck and he offers to help. He can carry half of the boxes on his truck. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So we have 16 ducks in 2 trips. That is 8 ducks per trip. When we divided the 16 by 4, we got 2 ducks per trip. When we divided the 4 by 2 first, we got 8 ducks per trip. These are not the same answer. Therefore, the associative property does not work for division. I hope this little video helps you understand the associative property of addition and the associative property of multiplication.